So on this episode of In Focus, the Tascam CA-XLR2d-C. So this, of course, is the Tascam CA-XLR2d-C, and it is the new microphone adapter for the Canon digital hotshoe. This is going to work with cameras such as the Canon EOS R3 and also the upcoming Canon EOS R5C. So opening the box reveals the unit itself, of course, as well as some accessories. You also get a cold shoe adapter, which is useful when you're using this kit with cameras that do not support a digital hotshoe. So the Nikon, for example, would require this and also that cable I showed you earlier in order to support audio in. This is useful for if you have a camera that is going to transition maybe at some point to a digital hotshoe, or if you already have a mix of cameras that have a digital hotshoe and some that don't. Another handy accessory that's been included with this kit is the battery sled, which is needed to drive some microphones that have a higher voltage requirement. I don't own any such microphones, but it's nice to know that if I did get a microphone that was like this, I would have the option of hooking it up to this camera. So this, of course, is the adapter, and as I hold it in my hand, I notice that the quality of this actually feels quite solid, quite confidence-inspiring. I was initially concerned that this unit would feel cheap and plasticky, and meanwhile the construction seems to be some sort of composite plastic material. It does feel very secure. It doesn't feel like it wouldn't be a sturdy device and wouldn't stand the test of time. I'd feel pretty confident utilizing this adapter on my camera in a professional environment. So as I flip up this plastic protector, you can see we have a number of sections here. The first one is a selector allowing you to choose your input. Down below that we have a link switch allowing you to link channels 1 and 2. And as we come over to the input channels, we can see that we have option for phantom power, mic, and line, depending on your input, and also attenuation, so 40 dB, 20 dB, and 0 pads. And last but not least, we have this low cut filters. I don't generally use these, I do that in post. And the option for a limiter, which again, I don't usually use. Coming over to the levels, you have the option for manual or auto. I generally use the manual setting and choose my levels with this dial. And of course, this is a set and forget kind of thing. So once you have that set up, you're probably not going to touch it again. And all these controls are duplicated for input 2. The dials themselves, they're not the best feeling, but they're not horrible. Again, we see that we have the duplication of controls. I'll close this down and we'll take a flip over to here. And there is input 3, which probably you can use for things like a wireless lav or something to that effect. And the inputs are quite nice. They're full-size XLRs. The whole unit feels very sturdy. I feel it inspires some confidence, and it's nice that they gave you this cold shoe adapter on the top so you can mount things like your wireless lav or other accessories, maybe a light. I don't know what you put there, but it's there in case you need it. Maybe for timecode might be useful. Coming round to the rear of the unit, we can see that we have some volume controls, these small tactile feeling enough buttons for up and down volume control. Yeah, I think they'll last a little while. They're not too bad. And here we have this small switch, and the switch allows you to select what this jack on the back is going to do. So you can see a little camera icon, flip that up to camera, and what will happen is all of those inputs will be fed to that 1/8" jack so that you can then input that into your mic input on your camera. But most of the time, if you're using a camera equipped with a digital hotshoe like the Canon EOS R3 or R5C, you will probably prefer to keep that in a headphone position so that you can hear your audio. So initial impressions from first hands-on of this unit, I think that the build quality seems very, very good. I'm expecting good things audio-wise because it is made by Tascam, and that is their forte. Their forte is audio, of course. So I'm expecting really good things from them. Comparing this to, say, the Sony unit that I owned, that I still own, it's up in one of my shelves somewhere. I would say the build quality is much, much better. The Sony never really inspired very much confidence. It always felt, well, flimsy, and especially with just $600-some price, I don't think it's really on the same level build-wise as this. Now, audio-wise, you tell me, because I'm recording this section with the actual Tascam unit that you're seeing. And then the other thing, Comparing to the Panasonic, well, the Panasonic really didn't feel bad. It felt much better quality than the Sony. I would say this is probably a notch above the Panasonic, and even this shock mount arrangement here, I was initially concerned from the pictures that it would be very flimsy. I could never really get a good picture of what was going on there. But now that I look at it, I realize that it is actually a solid metal mount. The entire thing is a very thick gauge metal, and it feels very, very secure. And right up here, there's must be some sort of springs. It feels very good. The whole unit feels well put together, well constructed. I don't think that you're going to feel that this is somehow inadequate for professional use. It's very much up to scratch, and you do get a very fine product for your money. The only thing that remains to be seen is how is this going to stack up audio-wise, and I'm relying on you, the viewers, the channel aficionados, to tell me, what do you think? How does this sound? Is it worth the money? Are you going to get one? So one important side note regarding those voltage requirements, I'm not sure what kind of microphones actually have these hefty voltage requirements, but for example, I'm currently using a Shure SM7B, and this is going through a cloud lifter, which of course requires phantom power in order to work. And the Shure SM7B is one of those microphones that really needs a boosted signal, so a bit hungry on requirements, especially with the cloud lifter. And I'm using just this plug directly into the Tascam, no battery sled, and my audio levels look great. I don't know, you tell me how this sounds. Does it sound good? So this is an example of using a very heavy power requirement, using the cloud lifter even, being powered by the Tascam adapter, and I'm not seeing any problems whatsoever. So one of the really nice things about this particular adapter is it's non-proprietary in that you can seemingly replace this bottom piece with one that supports a different digital hot shoe from maybe another camera brand, or even a passive hot shoe mount for a camera that doesn't have a digital hot shoe at all, meaning that you buy this once and then you really only have a small investment in buying the different hot shoe mounts. This, of course, is my Canon EOS R3, and I understand that Jared Land from Red just got his very recently and has been raving about the image quality of this camera. A lot of reviewers tend to get hung up on resolution, but this thing punches way above its weight, and the images are flash some, so you can see, are simply amazing out of this camera. It really is like cheating. It's so good. Now the adapter, as you can see, you just slide off this cover, and there is this locking mechanism. And my understanding, you just depress this and slide this over, so it's just right like that. Depress and slide over like so, and that's it. And now at this point the adapter is fully secured. You do have a nice weather sealing here, so that you shouldn't have to worry about rain or anything. Now I'm not sure exactly the weather sealing on this, so I would assume it has to be somewhat weather sealed, or else it makes this redundant, doesn't it? But then there are holes, so I'm honestly not sure how that works, but maybe it has some sort of weather sealing. We certainly have covers here, so that would lead me to believe that this would have some sort of weather sealing, but near as I can tell, there's nothing in the literature to tell me exactly what kind of weather sealing I can expect once this unit is attached. So keep that in mind. But that said and done, I'm going to take this out, play with it a bit, and let you see what this is like to actually use. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to go ahead, like and subscribe, that's important, and share, and I will catch you next time.